Dude, I fucking lost my video camera. It's my friend
What?
Jeremy. You gonna help me? Ow!
Dude, you touched my cigarette. That was you.
Ow!
Sorry,
Yeah.
buddy.
We gotta go look for my camera.
We're going to look for the camera. We're going to find it. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
I hope. Maybe that's it right there. That brown thing in the dirt that's like crushed that he's gonna run over. All right. I am here in San Antonio, Texas, and I have to tell you a story. So, Jazz's Rockin Roadshow shoots with a 360-degree camera. It's called the Insta360, and the one that we've used all for season 1 and like the first 5 episodes of season 2 was the Insta360 X3. However, I've been following and waiting for the updated camera to come out, and it came out on April 16th. So on April 17th, I had a new camera at my door. And it shoots, it's a big improvement. It shoots 8K versus 5.7K or whatever. Anyways, I was all excited to shoot this episode in San Antonio with it. So I arrived in San Antonio. So it came out on the 16th. 17th is whenever I got it. I think I flew out on the 18th. Yeah, or no, the 19th I think it was. And I was with Stuntman Joe. We were all throughout San Antonio shooting video. A lot of cool things happened. We met some street musicians, got great footage. Had a lot of drinks, bought some kilts, all this cool stuff. And I got home, and so this is a selfie stick I use, and it extends like, I don't know, 10 or 12 foot. And I got home, I got to the hotel room, and I put the selfie stick on the table, and my camera was no longer on it. So I had the camera for 1 day of shooting, and I lost it. So yeah, $500 camera is somewhere out there. Probably some freaking homeless guy probably sold it for $30 to some pawn shop to make beer money. But anyways, I went and bought another one so that I can shoot this episode. So this is Jazz's Rockin Roadshow with a brand new freaking camera that I'm gonna open up and reshoot everything I shot the other day. This episode's musical guest is James the 7th. This is Jazz, and you're watching Jazz's Rockin Roadshow. I am outside of the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas. This is a great week in San Antonio because it is Fiesta week, which means there's a party everywhere all week. It's going to be a good time. Musical guest for this episode is James the 7th. So let's check out a video.
Behind me is the cenotaph. It's right beside the Alamo, and in 1982, Ozzy Osbourne took a whiz on this and created quite a controversy. So apparently what happened, he'd been out the night before and very, very intoxicated, and his wife Sharon at the hotel took off his clothes so he couldn't leave the hotel room. What she didn't expect was he put on one of her dresses and left. And as he was out, he had to urinate, and of course, this is where he did it. A lot of people think that he pissed on the Alamo, but he didn't. He actually pissed on the cenotaph here. And I don't know if I just said this or not, but a cenotaph, it's like a big tomb for people to respect people that are buried somewhere else. So being the Alamo, you get the whole idea. So that was a big deal. Ozzy had a $40 fine, and then later that night he performed here in San Antonio. So that's the whole story. Check it out, man. Here is James the Seventh. This may be the coolest part of the Riverwalk. And a lot of people don't even know it's here. I mean, check this out. All right, so this is the grotto on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. And it's not huge, but it's really cool. Man-made cave-like structure. And I'm going to show you what I think is the coolest part. There's this really cool face that spits out all this water. So let's check it out. All right, I am underneath the I-35 bridge here in San Antonio, just up from the grotto. And above me is a really cool display of long-eared sunfish. But that's not the only cool thing here. There is also a colony of 50,000 Mexican free-tail bats that every evening about sunset, they go out in search of food. And it's like a big cloud of bats going everywhere. So weather's not too bad tonight. We're gonna see if we see some bats. I think there's a little activity from some bats. Starting to see them.
There they go. Some of them at least.
Well, there's been some bats. I don't think there were 50,000 of them yet. But, you know, it's Mother Nature. It's also, it's April, and they're supposed to come out between like April and May, and it's weather dependent. And there's a million excuses. I don't know. They're bats. They do what bats do. But I'm going to stick around for a little while longer just to see. So keep your fingers crossed. Well, not too many bats here, but the fish look pretty cool as it gets a little darker. Well, the bats are becoming more active, but not in the numbers that I had hoped for. I've seen the bat bridge in Austin, Texas, and it's crazy the number of bats that are there. But they say that they get 50,000 bats here too, depending on what time of year it is and what the weather's like. So, I mean, you can definitely, I don't know if you can see them on video, but you can see them here just going back and forth under the bridge. But there's not yet a big swarm, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to stick around. So we gave it a try. They all can't be winners, right? Anyways, yeah, I don't know what's next on the show. We'll see. Maybe a video, maybe a commercial. Ta-da.
the silent passion and surrender. Keep others' thoughts in mind to pave the path you hope to find. Would you have any regrets? Have any regrets? Dream of things you can only imagine. Succumb to the silent passion and surrender.
I am not quite sure what this is. I may have to Google it. Maybe it's a doorway to another dimension. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Well, it seems like I'm still in San Antonio. Well, that was rather uneventful. Anyway, up there's where we're going. Okay, so far, season 2 of Jazz's Rockin Roadshow has been pretty rough on me. In the first episode of season 2, I was racing go-karts and I plowed into a person that was on the track, messed up my neck and stuff a little bit. The next episode, we went deep sea fishing and I just got abused with the waves and everything else. And then after Whistler, I got deathly ill for about a month. And then here in San Antonio, I shot a ton of footage. I was with my buddy Stuntman Joe, and we had a couple drinks, too many probably, and I lost my video camera. So I figured, hey, let's keep the streak going. We're at Tower of Americas, and I really don't like heights, so I'm gonna go up there and who knows, maybe the elevator will get stuck or we'll have an earthquake and the whole thing will collapse, whatever. But anyways, that's where we're going on Jazz's Rockin Roadshow. Hello.
Morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. Thank you for asking. 1, 2, 3.
All right, now that I'm up here, it's not so bad. But I did not like that elevator ride up here. I don't know why I continually go up in high things on this damn show. All right, but let's check it out while I'm up here. Ugh. Oh, it's a cool view from up here. Well, this is kind of cool, I guess. For 20 bucks, why not? I mean, you can see a lot of stuff. I think the Sky Needle in Tokyo was a little cooler, but this is neat too. All right. Apparently I can go out this way. Ooh, yay. It is a lot chillier out here. Wow. Yeah. Check that out. Gosh, I don't like heights. Which is crazy. So this tower here is 750 foot high. I jumped off the tower, the Stratosphere in Vegas, and that's 877 foot. I don't know how I did it. It is incredibly windy up here. It's open to the elements. Oh, I don't like this. I gotta get back so I can get up above. Ugh. All right. Wow, that was windy out there. I'm happy to be inside. So I think it's time to go back down now. Maybe head back to the hotel for a bit.
She's so voracious. Her stare is vicious. Tossed her sense into a wishing well, but she won't wish you well. She never minded when I confided. Sincerity slips through her tongue. She calms the tides that keep my heart stuck. She's not gonna love you if she hates you. She's not gonna love you if she hates you. And she won't even try to be rude when it's true. Salvation, if it's no complication. Bit down on the rags while she cleaned my wounds. She wouldn't say a word if it wasn't true. She never minded when I confided. Sincerity slips through her tongue. She calms the tides that keep my heart stuck. She's not gonna love you if she hates you. She's not gonna love you if she hates you. And she won't even try to be rude when it's true.
I'm a little crazy, please believe me that this is big crazy. This bridge is big loco. This bridge has been here since 1890. That is 1890. And it's never, ever had any welding. Like I've never had a license to drive this boat thing. You're looking at the same nuts.
So tomorrow night here on the Riverwalk is a river parade where they have all the boats coming up and down the water here. They have bands playing. It's going to be a big party. So we're going to check that out tomorrow. This is Fiesta Week here at San Antonio, in San Antonio. This is the Riverwalk and this is the River Parade, and it gets crazy. All these different boats, people come from everywhere. All the bars are filled up and it is a good time. It's a party. We're not even allowed down, well, I'm not even allowed down here, but I convinced the cops to let me down briefly to shoot some video for y'all. And as cool as this is, there's a pub not too far away that I'm gonna go to, so cheers. So the river parade's really cool. There's way too many people for my taste at the moment because you kind of can't get places down there. It's so packed. So I found this lovely little patio bar outside, and look at that. Yes, that's a proper beer. Cheers. Oh yeah.
It's been raining too long, but one day I'm gonna miss her. Fucking Pittsburgh.
All right, I made it to the San Antonio airport. It's about 4 in the morning, and I am on my way to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to meet up with James VII at the studio to do an interview, and he's going to jam some songs. So next stop, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ooh. Just to feel something, I'm over the moon, and it's hard to describe. Moving to the sound of my heart when my feelings start to go on overdrive. On the edge of my seat tonight, I'm on the edge of my seat tonight, on the edge of my seat tonight, like a movie ready to blow my mind. The psychologic thrill of it all. I know that you've been too scared to call. I know that you've been waiting too long, but I do it for the thrill of it all. I do it all for. I do it all for. Waiting for changes, suspense for my body aches to not feel so shameful. But when I couldn't get out of my mind, I turned off the TV. I'm terrified. I'm on the edge of my seat tonight. I'm on the edge of my seat tonight. Agonized edge of my seat tonight, like a movie ready to blow my mind. The psychologic thrill of it all. I know that you've been too scared to call. I know that you've been waiting too long, but I do it for the thrill of it all. I do it all for. I do it all for.
All right, I am back in Pittsburgh with my dear friend, James the Seventh. Welcome.
Hello.
Happy to have you here.
having me.
You're welcome. So I have to start out right away with asking, how'd you come up with James the Seventh?
Well, my dad is a sixth in a generational line of Jameses, and my parents wanted to carry on the name, but only had daughters.
Oh, okay.
But when I started doing music, and my dad got me the guitar as well, so it's always been sort of like an inside joke in my family that like one of my sisters and I was gonna be the seventh, but you know. So yeah, when I was coming up with something to release music under, I liked it better.
That's a great way to honor your father too, and
Yeah.
with your music. So
Yeah.
excellent. How did you get started in all this? Because for those that aren't musicians, you probably saw the performances where you're using a sampler, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you play part of the song, and then you sample it, and then it'll repeat that, and then you play another part.
Yeah.
How'd you get into doing all that?
I actually just started doing it last week. I got it as a Christmas present for my parents, and I've been wanting to do something like with that for a long time because that's kind of how I make music on my own. I'll like harmonize or like layer different guitars and stuff over it, but I've been wanting to do that in like a sort of a live setting or just making songs by myself. I like to play around with that, and that just makes it easier. So that's kind of how I've been doing that lately. Yeah.
It's really great for the harmonies because we were talking before we started the interview about the harmonies in Preoccupied, and it's so beautiful because you kind of do the one layer and then you do the next, and then you think, well, that's really cool, but then you put that third one in there and it's like, whoa, it really explodes, and that song gets stuck in your head. Is that one of your more popular songs?
I'm not really sure, but that is like one of my favorite songs that I've made because I think I really learned a lot more about just harmonizing and stuff, like aspects of my voice too that I haven't even really explored using yet too. So yeah, I just learned a lot in the process of making that song. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with doing it.
So I was on Facebook and I think I saw you had was it a reel or a little short video of that song? Mm-hmm. You had that one and Centerpiece, I think it was. Mm-hmm. So are those available for purchase? Like, can I go to Spotify and find them? And
yeah, those songs are both on like Spotify and all the streaming.
Okay, so if you just search James the Seventh, we're gonna come up. So okay, everybody, listen. You got to look up Centerpiece and what did we just say? Preoccupied. Yeah. So, what's the plans? Like, are you doing a full-length album, or do you just release singles, or?
I mean, I've been making so many songs over the past, like, year or so. I'm hoping to eventually have a EP come out in the future, but I'm also sort of just, like, making things and dropping them, because why not? So... Well, playing it by ear, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's a world of singles anymore, the music business. It's just put out a song when you get it. You don't have to wait. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to do like an album at some point, but I like kind of want to have like a whole concept for it, and like I need to think about it for a long time.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's a lot that goes into it too.
Yeah. Yeah. That too.
And especially if you're doing all the parts yourself, like you do.
Yeah, I mean, I work with a producer. Over the past year, I've been working with a producer, which has been super cool. I'll go from, like, between Pittsburgh and Los Angeles, like, for recording stuff there. And then, like, I'll do some stuff because I use Logic for production. So I'll put some stuff in there and then send it back there. Yeah. Wow. Which has been really fun and a huge learning opportunity. It's
such a great time period we live in that you can actually do that. You can be living in Pittsburgh and your producer can be in Los Angeles and you're sending files back and forth or traveling or both.
Yeah.
Wow. How'd you get hooked up with somebody in Los Angeles?
Yeah, his name's Oren Yoel, but he reached out to me on Instagram. Was it last year? 2 years ago? Somewhere around there, but on Instagram. And he was just like, hey, are you interested in working together? And I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, that sounds really cool. And yeah, the internet has been like the main avenue in which I've like been able to meet a lot of people in general in music for sure. Like that's how I basically met you.
Right.
And yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah. So are you playing, do you perform out, or do you pretty much just do really stuff on the internet? Like, do you do shows and stuff?
Yeah, I do, but I've been doing a lot more stuff because I go to Point Park University, so
Okay.
I've been doing stuff like at school and stuff. I do want to play live in Pittsburgh more. It's just sort of figuring all that stuff out and whatnot.
Right.
I played a couple of things. I played in New York like a year ago or so, which was really fun. And actually, he played drums for that show. My boyfriend is sitting over there.
Over there.
But
he was also the one clapping after the songs.
I really do want to get into like playing live more, though. I'm sort of just scoping opportunities.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have some catchy melodies, because I was telling you, like, Preoccupied, as soon as you were done playing it, I was singing along while you were playing it. I was singing it after you were done playing it. You played the other song, and then we sat down to do the interview, and I was still singing it. So that's a great sign.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a website, or just the social media stuff?
I just have my social media as of now. I've actually been trying to set up a website recently.
Okay, so maybe by the time this comes out,
maybe by the time this is out, I will have a website.
All right. So in the meantime, everybody, listen. You got to go James the 7th on Spotify, Facebook. Give her some likes. Download the music. What would you like to tell everybody out in TV land about your music?
If you like indie pop music, if you like listening to a bunch of vocal harmonies stacked on top of each other and lyrics about personal things, then you might like mine.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, the dog has started to bark, and that's my cue that the interview is done. But thank you so much for being on my show.
Yeah, thank you so
You're
much
welcome
for
to come.
having me.
Yeah, you're welcome to come join me anytime. And keep doing what you do, because it's all music from the 412.
Yeah.
See ya.
Pittsburgh.
Yay, Pittsburgh. Oh, yeah. City of Champs. See ya.